Where are we, Chris?
We are in the middle of nowhere.
Our route this year takes us through the Temagami backcountry, putting in at Anima Nipissing Lake and looping our way through some of the region's most remote and rugged terrain. The route first takes us southwest through Whitewater Lake and into Little Eagle Lake, north towards Sugar Lake, and out onto the wide open waters of the Lady Evelyn. From there, we'll make our way east into the quieter reaches of Sonny Lake and McLennan Lake before navigating a maze of small creeks and hidden portages to reach the Montreal River. We'll then follow the river south into Kit Creek, where we will paddle our way down through the Kit, Gull Rock, and Brigstock lakes, and finally circle back to where we began on Anima Nipissing. All in, it's about 86 kilometers of travel, roughly 72 on the water and 14 on foot, across 25 portages, 6 of which exceed a kilometer in length. It's a challenging route with plenty of unknowns, but that's exactly why we chose it, a chance to explore wild country, push ourselves, and get off the grid. The night before, we organized our gear. The next morning, we made a couple of essential stops, made our way to the outfitters to pick up the canoe, and then proceeded to the put-in to start our trip. Chris, any words of wisdom for this year's trip?
Well, the guy at Smooth Water said this was less traveled route, and he laughed.
Good thing is, this year at least, it doesn't look like it's going to rain the whole time.
You know the old saying, right? There's no bad weather, there's just bad clothing.
Who says that? Pretty good day. It's warm though. The sun is definitely hot.
So we're going to be carrying around the edge, and then there's like another lake just over there. So mostly walking for the rest of today. Z Lake.
Whew, this is a beast to carry.
Beautiful time of day. All right, we're just in the last few hundred meters of this 1100 meter portage. So, final push for day one.
All right, day one done. We did 17 kilometers on the water. And we did about 2 kilometers of portaging. Now we gotta get a fire going and get some dinner.
Tube steak.
Tube steaks. Good morning. This is day 2. We're on Little Eagle Lake. And here we are just getting the fire going. Chris is busy on fire duty. Chris, what do you have to say for yourself?
Forgot my lighter.
It's not going to make for a very successful fire.
So we headed that way. Dealing with right now. Finished another portage. This was 4:30. Man, these are getting rougher and rougher each time we go. Hardly even a discernible trail for most of it. You're just kind of just plugging through the forest. It's after 5. We still got another 3 portages to go. Nice little lake here. I don't know what it's called, but it's a pretty time of day. Still enjoying every minute of it though. It's great. Day 2, what do you think of today?
Tough day today, man. Probably one of the tougher days we ever had.
Definitely less traveled.
Oh yeah. Some of those portages
Really
we were on
rough.
today have clearly not been maintained. They weren't marked.
Climbing over trees, and
They've not been walked in... I don't know if they've been walked this season. Like, they didn't look like they've been walked this season.
yeah. Survived. Beautiful spot here though. All right. See you tomorrow.
Interesting, some of the stuff you find on these sites sometimes. Super heavy duty oil drum.
Okay, you hear that? We're just packing up here. There's been some thunder showers came through.
Just waiting for a break in the rain to get out and pack the tent, shove it in the bag, and hit the water.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
This morning we have a couple of long portages to start. I think we're going to paddle for about 15 minutes and then into a 1.4 kilometer portage right away. Alright buddy, we made it to Sugar Lake. A couple of pretty nasty and wet portages.
Halfway to Lady Evelyn. Looking pretty gnarly in there. We're here on Sonny Lake.
Nice site. Problem is it's infested with wasps.
Well, yeah. Most of the day was good. We made good progress today. We clocked out a couple of portages right away, paddled across Lady Evelyn, and then we hit the final portage into Sonny Lake, which said it was 700 meters. It ended up being what, like 1,500?
Shit, something like that. It was way more than 700.
We just kept walking. We're like, is this going to take us to the right place? Jeff got stung by a wasp, so we like injected him with Benadryl, and
so I don't die. Nice flat tent pad. Oh, they're buzzing over there still.
yes. You know what I'm excited about?
Turkey dinner.
Turkey dinner. Here we are, starting day 4, just coming out of Sonny Lake.
We're somewhere between Sonny Lake and McLennan Lake, trying to follow an old portage that's not marked, just blazes on trees.
And it's pretty thick, right? You're bringing the boat through stuff like this.
It's a good thing we got off the site at 8:30 because we needed the extra time. It's now 11:30. This is definitely a route that's not traveled much. Definitely.
And the thing that really sucks is I lost my sunglasses in there.
Not finding them.
There's no way.
There's no way. All right, well, let's get back on the road here. Let's see if we can get to the lake.
All right, we'll see you on the other end.
Peace.
Just coming off McLennan Lake, getting into the real marshy area, which turns into a stream. Wadi Creek?
Larrabee Lake first, and then Wadi's.
Lake first, and then, but it's gonna get tighter and tighter. All right, so here we are in this small portage. But it is a wasteland. Like, this is obviously been logged. Like, there's been some sort of heavy machinery through here. So we're just clambering over all of this brush and junk. It's been a grueling day. We spent hours trying to navigate this creek between the two lakes, which, you know, everything looks good on the map. But we've been in and out of the creek. It's been there's beaver dams, and water's so low, climbing through muck. So I'm just scouting ahead here, and like this is the creek. Like, it's completely dried up. But it's freaking gonzo.
Our original route that we'd planned for day 4 had us starting on Sonny Lake, progressing through McLennan, Larrabee, down Wadi's Creek, down Kitts Creek, through Kitts Lake, and staying the night on Gull Rock Lake, which was the next available campsite. A long day, but not impossible. That would have left us a relatively straightforward 13 kilometers to get back to the parking lot on Anima Nipissing the next day. But it wasn't turning out like that. Let's take a bit of a closer look. Thankfully, we had an early start from Sonny Lake at 8:30, because 3 hours later, when Chris lost his sunglasses on that crazy portage, we'd only made it a kilometer. And then it was another 45 minutes before we were down at the end of McLennan Lake. It was 1 p.m. by the time we hit that crazy logged out area, and things really started to get bad. Traversing that creek, we were in and out several times. There was no water, and 2.5 hours later, we'd barely made it another full kilometer. By the time we finally got down to Larrabee Lake, we'd passed a cabin on the shore as we turned into Wadi's Creek. We only made it a couple hundred meters up Wadi's Creek before we got stuck, and by this time, after only 6.5 kilometers, it was 5 p.m., and we weren't going to make it to the next route. So we retreated back to the cabin to figure out another plan. Okay, so here we are at the cabin, and we need to make it to the parking lot by the next day. Our original route, just didn't seem possible considering the distance and the challenges already on the creek, so that was out. Then we got to thinking, well, what if we went backwards? Could we go back through the route we came to Sonny's Lake? But that was still 30 kilometers from there to Mowat's Landing, so that was out. There was an ATV trail that led away from the cabin and led to a logging road. We even considered following that. I mean, after all, the owner got there somehow. But none of the logging roads were on our maps, so that would just be a little bit too risky. Who knows where we'd end up. In the end, we decided our best bet would be to hunker down at the cabin overnight, get up at dawn, start early, and power through the creek towards Bay Lake and an alternate access point at Latchford. Once we got to Latchford, we knew we'd get a cell signal, we could contact our families, and find another way back to the car.
Here's our setup here. Making use of this nice porch. Maybe do some rearranging of the furniture. We'll put it all back how it was. No flies tonight. Alrighty, it's about 9 a.m. We put in around 8:15 from the cabin. Made our way up to the point where the water was just too low. So we got out, hiked up the shoreline through basically grass. And then I jumped in the boat and paddled it through the low portions. It was actually, with all the weight out of the boat, it was passable. Yeah, so we're going that way. Looks a little bit lower, but we'll push on. We promptly found ourselves faced with another dried up riverbed here. Better than marsh. Water level's pretty low. I have to do this a couple times.
It took us 4 hours to get through that.
I guess that was 12:15.
That's better than I thought it was going to take us. There was some pretty rough spots there, but it was some of it was easier than I actually thought it was going to be.
If you told me yesterday that it would have taken us 4 hours of effort, I would have been jumping for joy. So I'm happy right now. So another couple hours of paddling maybe, and
Do that, we might actually get home today. Maybe. It'll be late, but we'll get home today.
beautiful day.
Unfortunately, due to a corrupt SD card in our GoPro, we lost a lot of the rest of the footage for the day. Due to a pretty strong headwind, it took us almost 2 more hours to paddle all the way down Bay Lake and eventually to the boat launch at Latchford. And we managed to arrange a shuttle from the outfitter to get back to the car. Oh, and remember how I mentioned when we were at the cabin, we followed an ATV trail out to a logging road? Well, as it turns out, when I got home and reviewed the satellite images, we could have taken that same logging road from the east end of McLennan Lake all the way out towards the big water leading to Bay Lake. It would have been a mere 4-kilometer walk, and we would have avoided all the pain and suffering of both creeks. But, hey, we didn't have the images. You live and you learn. And despite the trials and tribulations and the twists and turns, we had a few laughs and a great time. And in the end, that's what Type 2 adventures are all about.